Hey, hey, what's going on? Hey, yeah, so I'm still out in Long Island. We'll be back in Brooklyn tomorrow, but I hope everyone's doing okay today. This Sunday, 1 week left in Black History Month. Yeah, but what's interesting? Oh, real quick, a reminder. We've been showing trailers for the movie Tasmanian Devil, but if you search Tasmanian Devil trailer, you can see the trailer for Tasmanian Devil. It's available currently. I think it's available. I haven't checked yet, but someone told me it's available for $5. But it's a movie about a African immigrant who, you know, moves in with his father, who's a Nigerian religious preacher who's very strict, and decides to join the Black American fraternity. So it talks about a lot of diaspora war stuff and the Black immigrants trying to fit in, and the stereotypes of how both sides deal with each other. It looks pretty interesting. And we're doing a contest for it because the studio gave us 5 digital copies to give out. So what happens is email us at champagnesharks@gmail if you're interested, and we'll put that up on the screen. That's the email. Email champagnesharks@gmail.com, and just give us proof, like a screen cap showing that you're a subscriber. And this Friday on the air, we'll do a drawing for the five digital copies, and I'll email them out. So yeah, the Friday coming up, we'll do a drawing. And so if you're already a subscriber, then send it in. Or if you're not a subscriber yet, subscribe and then send it in. That's the best thing you can do. Um, yeah, why not? And the usual, if you enjoy what we do, feel free to support us in a multitude of ways. Hit the super chat if you're enjoying the stream. You can hit us up at PayPal at champagnesharks@gmail.com, or you can hit us up at Venmo or Cash App. Venmo, Cash App, Champagne Sharks, or patreon.com/Champagne Sharks to support and get extra episodes of the show and see us on the book club and the movie club. Yeah, so definitely, definitely check us out there at those places. And yeah, I mean, I'm not home. I don't have the stand and for like bringing the stand, so I'm doing the sports commentator thing for sure. Hey Jesus or Jesus Allen. I'm not sure which way you pronounce that. Hey Fakawotsu. I'm at my mom's house. I had to visit my mom and help her out with something. Hey Hubie Freeman. Chaotic Goods. How's it going? Somebody told me the lighting's bad. I know. What can I do? No ring light here. I mean, I could have brought it, but how much stuff am I going to bring for a couple of days? You'll just have to deal with it. But I wanted to just talk about a couple of random things, but I just wanted to get that out the way about the movie because I found it really interesting. But yeah, what else is going on? Um, we're going to have a roundtable of like some different people to talk about um, more about the Chinese propaganda because it's been getting pretty funny. A lot of people now on the left have been joining in on it and spreading State Department stuff, which is pretty interesting. But um, real real quick, I wanted to show something really fast. Give me a second. There's an article about trauma, and it's about Roxanne Gay, and I just want to say one of the worst trends now is the obsession with trauma. I got to think it started, really the modern iteration of it at least has had to have started with Oprah and her book club, or just her shows. She's had a lot of shows about trauma and bringing people on to rehash it. And now it's just become like a brand. It's become like the hip thing to talk about. It's just become how to build like cred. It's just interesting. Roxane Gay on How to Write About Trauma by Monica Lewinsky. So it's Monica Lewinsky talking to her. And in the candid interview, the novelist, essayist, and professor talks to Monica Lewinsky about finding a way to write about terrible things, doing double duty on therapy, and handling all forms of criticism. And the main thing I wanted to say is I'm just so sick of trauma. So sick of it. It's just um it's become insincere. Like I think it's important to talk about, and I think it's important to discuss when it really happens and everything. But I also think it's just become something where people are just reaching and trying to find trauma to talk about because that's just what you have to do to be taken seriously. It's become a cynical thing, like just showing your wounds and parading them out for people. And there's not really a lot of insight to anything given. It just becomes this thing where everyone is increasingly re-traumatizing themselves, sharing trauma with each other and absorb each other's trauma and all this stuff. It's so she taught a course on trauma writing, which is just so weird. Like she actually has a new essay, Writing into the Wound, and then she has a undergraduate workshop at Yale about writing trauma. And yeah, this is something I was thinking is just, and it's becoming activist circles and in TV shows. Everything is just trauma, trauma, trauma. How much trauma, and it gets even worse with race writing and feminist writing. It's just the idea you have to be talking about trauma to have something worth talking about. Oh, by the way, if you give us a donation to Super Chat, we make sure to put your comment up. Thank you, Cameron, for the well wishes on my mom. She's doing fine. Um, yeah, you can trace it to Color Purple. Definitely. Hey, Phil Winter, thank you for the donation. Politicians like AOC do this trauma thing. Yeah, for real. And friend of the show, Yasmin Nair, is actually going to write about this. Her piece is with editors, but when it's done, we're gonna have her on to talk about the piece. And she's been getting a lot of trouble over what she's been saying about AOC and the trauma writing industry. But yeah, it's really, I mean, Chinese government does spread disinformation, but the problem is everyone says that about the Chinese government. It's not that saying the Chinese government is innocent. Is that the double standard of it? Is that the two wrongs make a right? Because no one's saying that China is right. Like I'm sure they do spread information. It's just that there's one side's disinformation that's kind of blindly believed, and then there's another side's information that is where everything they say is disinformation, even if it's something about how well the COVID vaccines are doing. Yeah, so it's there's a lot of hypocrisy going on with that stuff. But what other things I want to talk about? Yeah, so that's just about that last thing is just something I want to talk about in general. But I'm not going to go into the article too much because I think Yasmin Nair is probably gonna have a lot to say about it, and I don't want to end up talking about something we'll end up rehashing anyway. But this is another thing that was really disturbing to me, and it kind of shows. Uh, I feel like this is really disturbing, but check this out. Um, this is it. So Lexi Alexander, who's one of those woke online people, but she's also a director. She's directed she's directed Punisher Warzone and Punisher War Journal or something. I remember that, and some other like things that I don't really remember too well. But She wrote this: "Stop jumping on people who don't like old movies. It's such a pretentious, I went to an expensive film school thing to do. Old movies rarely hold up. Plus, they're racist and sexist as fuck. It's okay to be a fan of old movies, but not liking them doesn't turn people into peasants, for fuck's sake." Whatever dark hole of wannabe filmmakers just found this tweet, because of course she ended up getting slammed, um, and is trying to twist it into something that it is not. I would appreciate if you could all crawl back to 8chan and jerk off there. And that's this thing that I always hate. Everybody that calls you out, we say something dumb, is a 4chaner or 8chaner or a man crying white tears, even if it's like people of all races and all genders calling you out. And the thing is, this is not a great take, but I think it's especially disturbing that you're like a film influencer, you're a director. Like, how can you work in an industry and not and have utter contempt for everything that came before you? You know, on some lame pretext that it's all like too white or too racist, which is I think kind of ironic because I mean, look at recent things that have come out like Three Billboards, Crash, and a bunch of other things compared to like some older movies that have had some more insightful things to say about race. Like you mean tell me that something new like Crash or Three Billboards or Shape of Water, which are full of a bunch of racist tropes to me, is gonna be more nuanced than to say like Nothing But a Man or To Sleep with Anger by and a lot of other movies, you know, that I think were uh pretty great and poignant on race. It's just like that's such a presentist I think they call it progressive fallacy where you think everything new is automatically better. Like it's so like arrogant. There's so many blatantly racist movies that happen now. And what she was talking about what she was talking about is really silly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there are racist stuff back then, but I'll leave the thing with Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation, the original one by D.W. Griffith. I mean, it's racist, but it's a really well done movie. It's a great movie. The innovations that thing has made are amazing. It's racist as hell, and I watched the hell out of it. But also, you learn something by a lot of those racist movies because you get to really see what white people really think, and a lot of times those movies are more honest than white people trying to hide what they say and say the politically correct thing. I think they're actually kind of more educational because now the new movies have the same racist messaging, but they hide it in a fake way. So you get things like Crash and Three Billboards are the two recent examples I used that are both getting praised for being so progressive, and they're horrible in traffic and all types of stereotypes, you know. And yeah, I'm very sure she loves the Watchmen show. I would be shocked if she doesn't. Which the show itself, I think, is very racially tone deaf. And then said this: "I hate black and white movies. Some executive once asked me what my favorite black and white movie is, and I said Kevin Smith's Clerks." So yeah, that was I think that kind of says it all. But also the idea that you have to go to an expensive film school to like old movies, and like maybe you just watch Turner Classic Movies. Like that's a really silly thing, and the broad thing that old movies rarely hold up when really I think new movies rarely hold up. I thought that was kind of cringe and embarrassing. But to give her credit, she did not delete. She stuck to her guns with that horrible take, and the most of the takes, most of the quote tweets of her were basically just dunks, but there were a few that agreed with her, and they were pretty terrible. Every time we looked at their profiles, it was awful, and like 3 or 4 very predictable ways each time. You know, um, like someone agreed with her and then cited like Charlie Chan movies and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, what about The Hangover just a couple of years ago, and Ken Jeong's role in that, with a bunch of little dick Asian jokes. Yeah, we've come along. Like, I would say Charlie Chan's actually somehow less racist somehow than the Ken Jeong roles in the Hangover movies. Like, just the arrogance of that. It's so. But the people who were like agreeing with her and stuff, those are all people who want to break into Hollywood now with diversity. And so all they care about is that people of color get to play their own dehumanizing roles, and get a seat at the table. That's all they really care about, So what they're really mad about is that they weren't getting a chance to act in these things. It was I don't know, but it was embarrassing to me. Like as a filmmaker to say that, I just don't understand how. I mean, there's good critiques to make of that old stuff, you know. Yeah, exactly. Ken Jeong is a medical doctor, and he has to act like a self-emasculating clown too. I mean, his stand-up is like really cringe. It's hey, Lamina, how you doing? Oh yeah, I think this is a good side too. I think many don't want to be held to the same quality standards of classic movies to find reasons to dismiss them. Yeah. Oh, this is great too. The Blind Side. You mean tell me the Blind Side is? Oh, Green Book is another one. You know how many freaking racist movies there are now? I think they're actually probably worse in a lot of ways than old racist movies. Yeah, nothing but a man in Imitation, even Imitation on Life. Imitation on Life is flawed in a lot of ways, and I still think it's a better movie on race than Green Book and a lot of these other, and Blind Side and a lot of these other movies full of, yeah. But I'm like, these people don't even have the sense to be embarrassed by things they say. That's crazy. Like, there's no sense with these people. Yeah, but she's good at being an influencer and being woke. Like I see her around all the time. What else? What else? What else? This was something that was funny. I got this as a gift, right? I got a gift, and I've seen it at like these fancy coffee hipstery places, like Blue Bottle, uh, where it's called pour over coffee, right? It's called pour over coffee, and it takes like 3 minutes to make. When you order it at one of these fancy coffee places, you gotta stand around and wait. But the coffee does taste pretty great. It's strong, so I can't lie. It's like pretentious, but it's good. It tastes good. And as a gift, uh, we got a pour over set, and it's been sitting there. I haven't been using it. Right. I just make coffee the old-fashioned way with the French press, but I kind of wanted to use the pour over. I said, let me figure out how to use the pour over. So I put a search term for V60. What people getting mad at Martin Scorsese? Oh yeah, the Martin Scorsese thing. Everything the Martin Scorsese thing was funny to me because it was all stuff from Champagne Sharks. We talked about content versus works and all this stuff, and people were sending it to me. They were like, I think Martin Scorsese watches uh, or listens to Champagne Sharks. And I'm like, no, if the truth is out there, people don't get to it independently. It'd be nice if he did, but I doubt it. But yeah. Oh, I love Gone with the Wind. This terrible movie. Not even because it's racist. It's just like Gone with the Wind is not a good movie. Like, and it's not because it's racist. I think the racism is like not even the biggest part. It's just bloated and poorly structured, and it just has really bad protagonists. And it's just Gone with the Wind is like a soap opera where you just had the middle chapters and you didn't have the beginning of the soap opera or any resolution. It's like it ends like mid story. It's just if someone just put a couple episodes of a soap opera together, strung them together, and it ended with to be continued. It's not very good, but it's really good on racism as far as uh, showing how like the man character I think is very telling. like if you ever want to understand black people who love white people and who love racist white people and uh white racist people who think that they like black people, that's a great movie because all those characters are like archetypes of that. The relationship between Mammy and Scarlett O'Hara and um the way, I mean, there's like scenes of black people fighting other black people on behalf of white people, black people trying to rape white women, and then the ex-slaves come and save the virginal white woman, and like all these kind of crazy tropes that I think there's a lot more you can learn from that about modern race relations than you can from a lot of actual modern movies. Yeah, Martin Scorsese subscribes to the Patreon under a fake name. Oh yeah, some of that old acting. That's one thing I say about old movies. They have that transatlantic acting. It's like Johnny, I'm not gonna take this, Johnny. I just love how they talk. That's like this received pronunciation to learn on the studio a lot. Yeah. Oh, Gone with the Wind has a. My favorite thing with Gone with the Wind is that they just put Vivian Leigh is British, right? And she took great pains to get a British. I mean, to get a Southern accent, and she took great pains to get a Southern accent and everything. And this guy in the movie, I think it's Leslie Howard. There's two Howards. There's Leslie and Trevor Howard. I forget which Howard is in Gone with the Wind. But he's British too, and he just didn't care. He clearly just wanted to get a check. He's checked out throughout the movie, and he does not even bother to hide his British accent. So you have two British actors playing Southerners, and one bothered to do the voice, and the other one was just like, give me the check. They say he wasn't really into the movie. He didn't really feel like putting his all to it, and I kind of get it because even though it's a classic now, I mean, it's kind of a dumb movie. It is very overlong and melodramatic and unsympathetic. But listen to this guy's accent; it's so good. It might be too low. This is the maximum the volume goes. Let me know if it's loud enough.
Scarlett, who are you hiding from in here? What are you
And he's supposed to be like young, like in his 20s.
Well, why aren't you upstairs resting with the other girls? What is this, Scarlett? Secret?
Oh, Ashley. Ashley. I love you.
Scarlett.
I love you, I do.
Well, isn't it enough that you gathered every other man's heart today? You've always had mine. Got your teeth on it.
Oh, don't tease me now. Have I your heart?
Have I your heart?
I love you, I love you.
You mustn't say such things. You'll hate me for hearing them.
I'm British.
I never hate you, and I know you must care about me. Or you do care, don't you?
I'm 19 years old.
Yes.
He's supposed to be like 19.
Yeah. Oh, can't we go away and forget we ever said these
Can't we go away, darling? Darling.
But how can we do that? Don't you want to marry me?
I'm going to marry Melanie.
But you can't, not if you care for me.
Oh, my dear, why must you make me say things that will hurt you?
Hurt you? Darling, why must you make me say things that will hurt you? that, yeah, I mean, he's just old and British, man. He just drew. I mean, the movie sucks, but the scene on classism and racism. It's a very instructional movie on classism and racism, and I just really enjoy it. But just got this old British guy. He's supposed to be like 19, and he's like, there's supposed to be young guys going to the Civil War, and he's one of them. And the dude just looks like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I might do that. I might do that because some people said they like when I clown movies on here. Like when I did the Captain America and Bucky one, there were a lot of people who said they like it. But the darling, I can't do this for you, darling. Is Yeah, it's really boring. It's really long. Like that. Like if she said something about Gone with the Wind, I'd be 100% with her. For sure. Yeah, but yuck. But what else? Oh, but this is. I forgot how I got Gone with the Wind. Oh yeah, but this is the main thing I want to talk about, right? So I got this V60 thing. I said, let me go see. Let me go see how I can learn to do this V60. And this is the first result that came up. No, I didn't see Tenet. It's Christopher Nolan, and I don't really like Christopher Nolan. But if I get bored enough, I might watch it. Maybe. Yeah, in general, with old movies, one thing I noticed about old movies, they don't care about accents at all. Like that's one thing I say new movies are good on. They're very meticulous about accents. Old movies, it'll take place in like the Middle East, and there'll be someone with a British accent, a German accent, you know, an American accent, someone will come from New York accent, and it'll all be in Jerusalem, and no one will care. Like Edward G. Robinson will show up like, "Hey, see Moses. Hey Moses, show me those commandments. You see here? It's like okay, fuck, why not? And Yul Brenner's there with his accent. There's a British person. Charlton Heston is there, and then they might have like a African slave, and he'll be talking like a Black American. It's like sure enough, it's like why not? Yeah, so I give it. I'll give it to her on that. Okay, so let's see. But this is the thing that I found, and it was put up by Stumptown Coffee, and I cannot tell if this is a bit or not. But this is the instructional video that I found when I tried to do a V60, and I'm not going to use this because it's too much. I found another instructional video I'm going to use instead, but I just had to show you all this. It reminded me so much of the recent episode we had with Champagne Sharks with Richard Florida. But check this out. First off, I love that they put this is every gentrifier stereotype in the book. Like I think they show this in ISIS recruitment videos to get them mad enough in America to like do stuff. Like, oh, if this is not in the ISIS recruitment video, they should put it in there. They should also put it in a. Anyway, I restarted again. Look at this. There's so many little trappings of just global hipsterness, but. The skateboarder is one. So here's the skateboarder coming. Cool. Now keep watching. The skateboarder is skateboarding inside. Yeah, isn't that your dad's coffee house? It's in Dunkin' Donuts. We skateboard inside. This lady's got the hipster shape, the hipster outfit. A close up of the Stumptown cups. She gotta she give it a little ambiance. This is 8.5. This is a Italian new wave. You gotta show your classy Stumptown cup, and here we go. Some nice little neo soul going on, little acid jazz. Got a beanie on. There's two beanies.
I'm the Stumptown barista Adam Murray. He's Neil Von Talley. We're Ripley Snell. I'll show you how to make a mug of coffee in 3 minutes.
Even Common thinks this is too much.
Well, first here's what you need. Your V60 dripper, filter, fresh coffee beans. Set your timer for 3 minutes. Then fold your filter at the seams. Form a cone. Now place it in your dripper and rinse paper particles and bring up the thermal level of your vessel. Now put the kettle back on to boil. Ground coffee consistency of kosher salt, a fertile soil. 3 tablespoons, just 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons, just 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons, just 3 tablespoons. Now saturate your grounds.
It's not even rhyming.
stir, and let bloom. Wait for 15 seconds for hot gas to rise through.
This is like bad Q-Tip. It's a Tribe Called Quest.
Now that's when I pour more slippy, drippy, nine-tuple truffles, Duramina smelling like Barney Rubble, Fruity Pebbles, Bubble Lubble Gum, Sour Patch Kids, Black Licorice, Act Rich, post my Chemex on Pinterest, but never till I dance barista. Ethiopian features. Had my hair bent. Damn, where my hair went. Cut pretty close.
So nothing
I heard
right.
cold brew on the follicles to stimulate growth.
A Tribe Called Gentrify.
That's just the stoner poor talking. Avoid the light spots.
Yeah, Saul
Aim for
Williams
the
is
darkness.
fair too. There's a little bit of Saul Williams in there.
2 minutes and 10. That's just the stoner poor talking. Avoid the light spots. Aim for the darkness.
Oh, that kind of rhymed.
I want to pour 360 grams of water into my vessel. Now while I let it drip, I clean my equipment.
This is what spoken words would sound like in the Starship Troopers world. That is very... Yeah, the other guy's actively making the
Anyway.
beat. I guess you didn't realize.
That's just the stoner poor talking. Avoid the light spots. Aim for the darkness.
Yeah, no,
So
pour over is not
slow.
pretentious. This video is pretentious. The pour over is like fine. It's a... Just to make clear, I'm not dissing the pour over. I'm dissing this video.
It's just the stoner poor talking.
Stoner
Avoid the
pour.
light spots. Aim for the darkness.
But I want to ask you guys, do you think this is
A minute and
parody, like
10.
it's kind of self-parody, it's making fun of itself, or you think it's 100% earnest? I have not... Because part of me thinks maybe it's a troll. Like, there has to be a level of self-awareness to this. I don't know.
It's so easy.
Yeah, it just feels too dunkable. Like,
30 seconds. I like to heat up my mug. Ten seconds.
the beat's actually not bad. I mean, but it's really easy to make. Like, if you
That's
play
your
with
Mario
that thing for like
V60.
in the afternoon, you can make a beat like that. It's not. It's
Good luck.
It's doing way too much. Some people think it's 100% earnest. I could see being 100% earnest too, but I could also see it. Well, they're doing it in real time, so that's why it's so long. They're trying to show you how it's done in real time, and it takes
Hello, my
a
name is
little
Sam.
over it takes a little over 3 minutes to do. So that's why I think it's so long. So it could be that long and be earnest. I don't know, but yeah, that video was just too much. Too much. Darling, Scarlett, I can't have you. Yeah, that y'all gotta watch Gone with the Wind from beginning. It's too long to do a real Mystery Science Theater with. I would have to like do an edited version of like an hour and a half. You know, it was an H&M type beat. Yeah, but y'all definitely. If I could make a edited version of Gone with the Wind, I would do Mystery Science Theater thing to it and put it on Patreon. But I definitely am not gonna do the full 3 hours because that is a overlong, boring ass movie. I'll do like a 90. Actually, that is what they do in Mystery Science Theater, right? They don't play the whole movie in real time, right? They just kind of edit it down to a point where you can still understand what the movie's about, but you don't have to like sit through every minute of it. I've never seen Mystery Science Theater. I just know the premise of it, but yeah, I would love doing that because I love like clowning movies and talking over them. And based on a few times I've done it, it seems like a lot of people here like when I do that too. Yeah, but one of the funny things is I watched that video, and the way YouTube works, if you watch anything once, it'll recommend you like 500 times more of them. So I've been getting all these dumb hipster instructional videos since. Yeah, she gets married like mad times. She's like, I get the idea that you don't have to be likable to be an interesting movie character, but she's not just not likable. She's not really even interesting. She's like just a spoiled white woman. She's like the original Karen, Scarlett O'Hara, and they try to have this kind of fake feminist vibe to her, but like all she wants to do is just get in the place where she can mistreat poor white people and black people and just be like a spoiled brat. Like she's not even interesting bad. Like you could be a despicable character and be super interesting, you know, but she's just unlikable and uninteresting. She's just the epitome. She's like the original Karen, super spoiled and boring. Cafe Del Mar is a good one too. Yeah, it's like that. What they used to call that? Not chill hop. It's like that chill out lounge music. It's whatever. What's the last thing I want to talk about? Darling. Let's see. Why do you make me say such hurtful things? Let's see. You're moving so fast. Yeah, this thing, freaking lo-fi. Yeah, someone's lo-fi. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's like that lo-fi.
Rural area.
That girl studying at the desk music. Did y'all see Joe Biden say this? This is crazy. Liberals have no chill. Liberals will have no pride. I mean, liberals will put up with anything this guy does. I thought for sure this would make black liberals finally turn on him, but no. But check this out.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store. The other
so he was saying that black people are too stupid. I think he said brown people too are too stupid to figure out how to get in line at Walgreens. Get online in order to get in line at Walgreens. So they're just too dumb. And he got like pretty much nothing off of it. And I'm telling you, if Trump said that, we would not stop hearing about it to this day. Not that I'm caping for Trump, but it just gets on my nerves how they had all this fake concern about black people and their urge to get Trump out there and the disrespect being shown to them. And, you know, this guy's been shoveling disrespect on black people before he's even gotten into office at an incredible rate, you know, with that leaked Zoom meeting and little slick things he's been saying here and there, including that thing at the town hall, and nobody cares. Yeah, he was talking about, someone asked what he was talking about. He was talking about the vaccines and COVID and stuff like that and getting the vaccines out. Yeah. Oh, you weren't asking, literally, you were asking, like, what is he talking about? Because they're just handing out vaccines to every damn body. I don't know. The whole thing is ridiculous, but yeah, that's basically it for today. We're not going to be on too long. How did it hit 40 minutes? I wasn't planned to be on this long. Yeah, but because of all the stuff happening, with, you know, personal stuff, I haven't done the book club and the movie club and everything. So that'll be back on track this coming week. I tried to kind of do everything without missing a beat, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be. All right. So anyway, we'll be back on. But yeah, support us any way you can if you enjoy what we give and what we do. Hit us up at the Super Chat, Venmo, and CashApp at Champagne Sharks, or patreon.com/Champagne Sharks for the, you know, patrons, and PayPal at champagnesharks@gmail.com. All that stuff is really helpful to us and investing in the show. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Don't forget to write us at Champagne Sharks with proof that you subscribe to. Write us at champagnesharks@gmail with proof that you subscribe to the show on YouTube or Twitch. It doesn't have to be just on YouTube. They subscribe on YouTube or Twitch to get entered into the drawing on Friday for the free copies of that movie, Tasmanian Devil. All right? Yeah, and get the likes up too, for sure. Yeah, definitely. This was funny. We gotta talk about that at some time. That was really funny. All right, guys, be good. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.